And welcome back, everybody. As you saw earlier in sports, when Jay Bates showed you the Independence Bowl, they had some snow on the ground. This is Shreveport, Louisiana, and that's where the Independence Bowl took place. And you could see that they had some snow on the ground there. That's in the northwest corner of Louisiana. They picked up as much as 2 to 3 inches of snow, and the kids are definitely taking advantage of it, dusting off their sleds and hitting the hills. And the last time they received snowfall accumulating on New Year's Eve was back in December of 1985, so a good 15 years since they've seen accumulating snow. Wow. All right, snowfall totals around our region. Well, we're taking a look at monthly totals for the month of December and seasonal totals. Monthly totals are in white, seasonal totals are in yellow, and some of the spots here in Detroit, 25 inches in the month of December, with a total so far of 26.4 since November. Muskegon, 67 inches of snow already, 55 for the month of December. Gaylord picked up 50 inches of snow for the month of December, totaling right around 85 inches right now. Traverse City, you picked up 33.5 inches of snow, and right now your total is 55.2, 37 inches so far in Sault Ste. Marie. And one city I could not squeeze on here is Marquette. They picked up 91 inches of snow for the month of December and 141 inches so far for the year. We still have 2.5 months or so till spring, so we still have a long way to go before we finally end the season by middle of the March, middle March going into April. Satellite and radar composite shows the cloud cover in place. We had some breaks in the overcast, mainly in the inland spots, right along the immediate lake shores where we saw some of the cloudiness and some flurries, and we actually still have some flurries occurring right now. High pressure is building into the west, so I expect some drying to take place as we go through the overnight hours and into the early morning hours. Let's take a look at our Doppler 10 street level radar, and it shows right around the Leelanau County region, Grand Traverse area, Traverse City, Glen Arbor, Leland, up towards Northport. Some areas of light snow or flurries. Really don't expect any accumulations as we go through the overnight hours. Winds right now kind of variable, southeast to west, and calm in some spots. So right now it's a little bit disorganized. High pressure ridge will build in. I expect some drying to take place, and I believe the skies will turn partly cloudy by early morning, and most of the flurries will come to an end. But you can see generally right along the immediate lakeshore, up into Grand Traverse Bay, up towards Bel Air, and also just outside of Mansalona, a few flurries trying to work its way through Kalkaska and areas down to the south. As we go through the day tomorrow, though, we'll see some improvements, some milder temperatures, but right now it's chilly across the region. Temperatures are in the single digits, even a few negative digits, especially up towards Pellston. But right now in Traverse City, 19 degrees, Cadillac's at 3, Mount Pleasant's at 5, Oscoda's at 1, Mackinac Island at 18, Sault Ste. Marie's at 13 degrees right now. And we're expecting milder temperatures for Tuesday afternoon. Thanks to a southwest wind, we'll tap into some of that milder air. Temperatures will be in the mid-20s to lower 30s, so milder in comparison to what we've experienced the last several days. There's a chance for some snow out to the west. Cloudiness will start to overspread the western sections of the Upper Peninsula, but it doesn't look like it'll affect us until sometime late Tuesday night going into Wednesday. We'll see that system push on through. We'll see a northwest wind right behind this front, and we'll see a slight chance for some minor lake effect accumulations, generally about 1 inch or 2 right behind this. I really don't expect a lot of lake effect snow with this system passing on by. As we look beyond the 5-day outlook, above normal temperatures expected, normal temperatures out east, and this is for January 7th Sunday through January 11th Thursday. And as far as precipitation is concerned, looks like we may see a break in the action too. Below normal precip across the whole Great Lakes region, and normal precipitation chances back to the west. Here's your forecast for the eastern UP and Straits area. A few scattered clouds and a few flurries. Temperatures right around 0 to 8 above. West winds at around 2 to 8. And for tomorrow, a good deal of sunshine. Should be a milder day, mid-20s to upper 20s, possibly touching 30 degrees. West winds at around 5 to 12. Northern lower tonight. Some flurries near the lakeshore, especially across Grand Traverse and Leelanau County. Partly cloudy to clear skies otherwise, and some areas, yes, could fall well below 0, -10 to +10. West winds at around 2 to 8. Mostly sunshine tomorrow, a nice one. Mid-20s to around 30, and central lower tonight. Some flurries near the lake, partly to clear skies, -5 to 15, west winds at 2 to 7, and partly sunny skies, near normal temperatures for tomorrow. Temperatures in the mid-20s to lower 30s. So we'll keep it bright and sunny for you tomorrow. Temperatures in the lower 30s down to our south, mid-20s up north. And there's that system snow on Wednesday, chance for a little lake effect right behind it for Wednesday night, and then another system comes in Thursday night and into Friday. But at least our temperatures are not down into the teens and single digits like we saw last several weeks. We're actually climbing to normal conditions or above that.
Sounds
right
great. Thanks a lot, Alan.
Yep.
We'll be right back. If you're like most people, you probably picked up a few pounds over the holidays. If so, don't worry. Dr. Steve Brody has some advice to help you shed those unwanted holiday pounds.
Plates of food heading her way don't frighten Susie Escobedo anymore. She found a diet that works, and it's easy.
I was eating throughout the whole day. It wasn't like I was counting my calories. It was mainly just eating whatever I wanted to, but in smaller portions. And it's easy to stick with. I've been able to maintain my weight for 7 months. So.
One key to Susie's success is that she didn't feel restricted, something that does not surprise therapist and diet specialist Maren Martin.
Restriction, and that's what dieting is, really leads to overeating. And when it's just normal human nature that when we're told we can't have something, we want it all the more.
So how can you trim back some of those pounds you picked up during the holidays? Well, besides drastically restricting yourself and then overeating, change your eating habits, like stop when you're full, for instance. Also, find an exercise that you can enjoy. And finally, choose a plan you can stick with for life. The bottom line here is that if you pick a plan that's too unrealistic, you might stick with it for a month or two, but then probably go off it, gain weight, and feel pretty badly about yourself. So pick a plan that you know you can live with and that you can have some success with as well.
When we do something like a diet that's supposed to be temporary, chances are we'll lose the weight, but studies indicate that 95% of us will gain the weight back, and we not only gain it back, but we usually gain more.
Now, Susie Escobedo, besides looking good and feeling healthy, her diet has, well, other rewards.
Buying new clothes and having fun. Shopping.
Food for thought for the new year. Dr. Steve Brody for CBS News.
Warm weather, sunny skies, and thousands of flowers. Sound inviting? We'll bring you highlights of the annual Tournament of Roses parade in Pasadena when we come back. Warm winter temperatures and millions of flowers kept crowds smiling at the 112th Tournament of Roses parade. 52 floats covered with seeds, vegetables, fresh and dried flowers traveled through the streets of Pasadena, California to kick off the new year. This New Year's theme, Fabric of America. 24 marching bands and 27 equestrian groups from around the country joined in on the festivities. Many parade watchers arrived over 24 hours in advance to get good viewing spots along the route. Not much to talk about in sports today, huh?
Nah, they just had this parade that kind of led up to a big game there. Just in case you were just wondering what that was all about. Of course, it's New Year's Day. There's bowls everywhere, a bevy of bowls, and Michigan Wolverines are in one of them. We'll tell you how them and everybody else did coming up in sports. Last year, the Citrus Bowl had a last-second thriller for Michigan State. This year, it's the Michigan Wolverines' turn to play in a Citrus Bowl spectacular. Hello, everyone. I'm Jay Bates. The Wolverines were just barely out of the BCS this year, but with David Terrell saying he's going to stay and this guy leading the team next year, today's Citrus Bowl with Auburn may just be a preview of what's to come. The Wolverines get the first score today in the Citrus Bowl against Auburn. It's the flea flicker, and Drew Henson is going to go deep to David Terrell. We're going to say that a few more times next year, I think. Touchdown, 7-zip, Wolverines. But Auburn answered back with authority. Ben Leard throws deep to Clifton Robinson. Great catch right there. Good coverage. That keeps the Tigers in the ballgame. Now we're tied at 14, in fact, and Anthony Thomas takes the handoff, goes around the left side and into the record books. He becomes the all-time leading rusher for Michigan with that touchdown. This one came down to the wire, though. Michigan up 10. Leard is going to find DeAndre Green in the back of the end zone. And the Tigers need to come up with the onside kick in order to get the victory. But you know what? Ronald Bellamy says no. He just jumps on top of it, and the Wolverines hold on for the 31-28 win over Auburn. The granddaddy of them all, the Rose Bowl, pits Washington against Purdue. Houston, the Huskies get on the board first on the option. It's Braxton Clement finding his way into the end zone to put the Huskies up 7-zip. Then Washington running away. Marcus Tuiasosopo. You didn't think I could do that, did you, Kim? QB keeper into the end zone. Huskies lead by 14, but Drew Brees brings them back to Vinny Sutherland. Touchdown. The Boilermakers get close today, but not close enough. It's going to be Tui. We're on a first name basis, or last name basis. To Todd Elmstrom on the jump ball touchdown. Huskies win the Rose Bowl by 10, 34-24. Well, South Carolina winless last year, but playing Ohio State in the Outback Bowl this year. Phil Petty dropping back to pass, gets it to Ryan Brewer. Brewer takes the screen 28 yards for the touchdown. Brewer wanted to go to Ohio State. They didn't want him. But you know what? They're going to want him now because Brewer then in the fourth goes in for his third touchdown on the day. He ran for 109 yards. Lou Holtz brings South Carolina back from the dead and gets the 24-7 win over Ohio State. The Gator Bowl matching Virginia Tech and Clemson. Va Tech strikes first. Michael Vick going to drop back to pass here and show off that arm that could make him the #1 pick if he decides to leave. He gets it to Jared Ferguson. Hokies up 7-zip on Clemson. Then it's going to be Vick showing off the legs that can make him the #1 pick if he decides to leave early. Into the end zone, the Hokies never really threatened today. They win the Gator Bowl 41-20 over Clemson. The Cotton Bowl has Kansas State facing Tennessee today. K-State's Jonathan Beasley back to pass, and he's going to show off the legs. So looks a little cold there. He just keeps it himself to stay warm, gets the touchdown. Wildcats lead at 7-0. Then it's Beasley showing off his arm. And you know what? He's going deep to Quincy Morgan. Great fingertip grab. Kansas State gets the win over the Volunteers, 35-21. And one bowl game just finishing up. They're still on the gridiron. Oregon State is putting a pounding on the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. It's now 41-3 in the fourth. And yeah, I know, I can't believe they made you work on New Year's either. I don't understand. The NHL in action today. Jason Allison going to take the frozen vulcanized rubber in, gets it to Sergei Samsonov. He puts it in the net, and the Boston Bruins lead the Buffalo Sabres 1-0. In the second, Jean-Pierre Dumont pulls a nearly duplicate highlight with Stu Barnes. Barnes ties things up at 1. We go to the third now. The Bruins begin to pull away. Andrei Kovalenko to Samsonov once again. His second score on the day. The Bruins hold off a late rally and get the win 4-3. On Frozen Pond tonight, Washington gets the win over Atlanta 4-2. Vancouver 3 better than Nashville 5-2. Edmonton falls to St. Louis 5-2. And just finishing up out west, currently in the third, where San Jose and Phoenix are tied at 1. Pro Hoops coming right at you, and I mean right at you. Oh, ouch. Rockets at Timberwolves, and this is not the way to cover Kevin Garnett. How do you leave him that open? Jeez, ever. On the other end, Steve Francis can fly. The alley-oop to Francis. He had 20 today. The T-Wolves, there has been a Wally Zerbiak sighting in transition, Wally World with the lay-in. But down the stretch, it's going to be Anthony Peeler from the suburbs, downtown, bang. T-Wolves get the 10-point win, 106-96 over Houston. One late game going on in the NBA tonight. Charlotte and Portland currently at the half. The Trailblazers lead by 11. And the Lions, this isn't news to a lot of people, but they cleaned house today. 3 assistants were fired, including offensive coordinator Sylvester Croom and defensive coordinator Larry Peccatello.
So let them spend all their money on Christmas and then drop the news on them.
Yeah, they got their Christmas bonus just in time to get their pink slip.
All right, thanks a lot, Jake. The first baby born in the new year in Oklahoma City has to share the spotlight with its 2 other siblings. Triplets were born at 12:15 this morning in Oklahoma City. 1 boy and 2 girls make up the trio. The girls weighed in at just under 1 pound each, and the boy weighs about 2 pounds. All 3 babies are in critical care. The mother and father were overwhelmed but very happy their children are finally born. Little Bethany, Brianne, and Blake are expected to stay in the hospital for about 3 months.
Segue to weather, right?
Yeah, that was a tough one.
What if you ask a question or something? I don't know. Let's take a look at our Doppler 910 5-day outlook. Looks like a nice day tomorrow, part 2, mostly sunny skies. Partly cloudy skies right along the coast, temperatures in the mid-20s to lower 30s. And then again, mid-20s to lower 30s, but we have a system bringing a chance for some snow. A dry day on Thursday until about late Thursday night. We have another chance for some snow again for Friday and Saturday, but nothing real significant over the next 5 days. Maybe a few inches here and there, and that would be about it.
Still sounds like a great forecast to start out the new year.
Yeah, I mean, after the last couple of months,
I'm telling you.
we picked up a lot of snowfall.
All right, thanks a lot, Alan. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in tonight. Have a great night.
If you see news happening, call the 9 and 10 newsroom toll-free at 1-800-STAR-910. Century Tel and Cellular One customers dial star 910.